I like building medieval stuff in Minecraft. It's one of my favourite building styles, and I think you can make things look pretty good with even the vanilla textures. And I've been building medieval stuff pretty much the entire time I've been playing Minecraft, which is quite a long time now. And I have a few techniques that I use that helps me come up with builds and kind of make them look decent. At least I think so anyway. So I just thought I'd share them with you. So if you're struggling to build medieval stuff, I hope this helps. And just a quick disclaimer, this isn't going to be a block by block tutorial. This is just more going to be a guide, so you can come up with your own builds. The medieval period does cover quite a vast chunk of time in history, about 1,000 years or so. And obviously there were lots of different peoples in that time that had lots of different build styles and building techniques and all that kind of stuff. But for the purposes of this video, we're going to be sticking to this kind of Tudor style. It's like a late medieval thing. But yeah, it's going to be this sort of style that we're going to be sticking to. The first thing we're going to do is grab some wool, and we're just going to create a floor plan. We're not going to do anything detailed just yet. It's just going to be a basic floor plan. And I always try and make the walls kind of odd numbers. So like here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're just going to create this kind of L shape. Alright, now that's done, we're going to want to try and make this shape a little bit more interesting. So I think what I would like is kind of a little tower just in the corner here. That's going to go something like this. Kind of a little circle-ish shape. Then maybe we can just bring this little bit out here. After we've done that, we're going to grab some stripped dark oak logs, and I like to make a kind of like a wireframe with the logs. So we're going to make this about 4 blocks high, so that's going to be as bottom room. I like doing 4 blocks because it gives you enough space to do something with the ceiling on the interior. We'll be doing the interior in another video. We won't be doing that today. So yeah, on this 5th block here, that's where the floor for the next floor is going to be. And we just do the same thing like this. And on the end bits like this, I find with medieval buildings, it's good to just have a bit of an overhang like that. You see a lot of medieval builds are kind of, if you look at pictures of real life ones, they are kind of top heavy. And having this little bit that juts out at the ends, it just kind of helps add a bit of depth as well. So I'm just going to keep going round and yeah, adding this kind of wireframe. Alright, that's the wireframe for the first floor done. I kind of bring up the logs where we have corners and then connect them all up, and like I said, at these end bits we have these little bits that kind of stick out a bit. You can do it with little bits like this as well. And yeah, it should hopefully give us a nice, interesting shape. That's the plan, anyway. So the next thing we're going to want to do is do the wireframe for the next floor. And it's only going to be like a 2-floor building. Maybe the tower will go up a little bit higher. And for the tower, actually, I'm not going to have any logs on the tower, so I've just done one straight up the middle, just so we get an idea of how tall it's going to be. But for the next floor, we want to kind of do how our roof line's going to go. So it might go something a bit like this. Just a nice and simple 1-step up roof like this. And I'm going to do this on each kind of big end here where we've got 5 blocks. I'm just going to do that. And on this little bit here where we've got 3 blocks, we can actually do the same, or we could also make this like steeper if we wanted to, and that could be cool. But I think because it's a shorter distance, if we keep the kind of slope of the roof the same, it's not gonna it's gonna go a little bit lower. Then I think for this little bit that kind of juts out here, I think I'm just going to put a little roof over it like that, and that should help just break the roof up a little bit. And I think down here as well, actually, I'd like just a bit of something, coming down here like this. I think that could be interesting. And then what I'm gonna do next is kind of every other block or so, I'm just gonna bring up a pillar like this. So something like that. And something you can do as well, if you want to, with these open bits, is kind of do something like this, and then get rid of these. And I'm going to do the same on this bit. Alright, so that's pretty much all the logs in. The next thing we're going to do now is fill in the walls. So we're going to grab ourselves, so that's tough, I want cobblestone. Going to grab ourselves some cobblestone, and whoops, we're just going to fill in just the walls for the first floor, just for now. So we're just going to do that all the way around. Alright, so that's the walls for the ground floor done, and we're going to want some windows, and I kind of like putting my windows in kind of these center points, so maybe one here. That's only a 2 wall, we might leave this bit, kind of some here. I might leave this bit because we're going to have a little roof over this bit. Window here. This is going to be our tower. I'm going to leave that just for now. But we can put a window in here, maybe one in here. Alright, cool. Then the next thing we're going to want to do is our next layer. And for this, I'm actually going to use calcite. On these kind of Tudor-style medieval houses on the top floor, a lot of them use this kind of, it's called stucco, which is like a plaster. And we're not going to keep this calcite in, we're just going to use it as a placeholder for now. Because I actually want to use white concrete, and I'll show you why that is. So I've got white concrete powder as well, and the reason why I like this is when you put these two kind of blocks together, it kind of looks like stucco that's aging a little bit. So you got this kind of smoother, a little bit grainy looking stuff, and then you've got this where it's kind of cracking a little bit with the stone underneath. And I think it blends together really well, and I really like the effect it gives. But the problem with concrete powder is it falls. So if I want to put a window in, it's going to make things tricky. So we're just going to stick for calcite for now, and we're just going to fill in all the gaps between the logs. Right, and the tower here, I'm actually going to keep doing with cobblestone. It's just going to kind of set itself apart from the top layer, and it's just going to add a bit of something extra, I think, if we keep this as a cobblestone texture. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do with the cobblestone, and we're going to bring it right up to where this log is, just for now. Alright, so that's the tower done, all the calcite's in place. I missed one there. And so yeah, if we just go and take a look back, it is now starting to look a little bit like a medieval house. I also missed a block there. There we go. Now the next thing I'm gonna do is put a roof on this thing. For this kind of build, I do like to use 2 different wood textures or wood colours. I like to use spruce and I like to use dark oak. You might prefer different colours and different textures. You might even want to put like a slate roof on here, a deep slate roof. It's up to you. Just experiment with different blocks and things like that. But this is what we're going to do. So we've got this corner here. We're going to get spruce stairs, and we're just going to put them across like this. And then when we get to the end, I'm going to put a dark oak one. And behind that, I'm going to put an upside down dark oak one. And behind that, I'm going to put an upside down dark oak one. And then we're just going to do the same thing again. And then the same thing again. Alright, and now on this side, we're gonna do a dark oak one. But you see over here, this is the peak of this roof. So what we're gonna do is get a spruce, and we're just gonna bring these, whoops, all the way across. Alright, so the top of this roof just joins up with this tower here, so that's quite nice and convenient. If this wasn't here, we'd just keep going all the way across. But now we can come to this corner of the roof. If we look here, all this is done. So we can come to this corner of the roof, and there isn't like an end bit like there is here. This just goes straight into the tower. So we're just going to put a stair like that, a stair like that. Then at the end, whoops, dark oak one, and the same thing again. Alright, so I've just done the same thing again for the next layer, and that's that part of the roof done. And now we're just going to come to the next corner, which is kind of this bit here, and the same thing. Well, that's that corner. On to the next corner, which is this bit here. Same thing again. Alright, that's that corner done, and now this is where things get a little bit tricky. There's a couple of ways we can get around this, and the first one is going to be, we're going to try using slabs. So instead of using stairs for this bit, we're just going to try, oops, I'm going to try use some slabs. We'll do the same thing. Bring this end bit here, and we're going to need also some full blocks. And we might have to get rid of these and just put in some full blocks like this, and then whoops, not one of those, one of those. Then we might have to get rid of this and put some slabs across here like this, and one there and one under there. And then we might have to get rid of these and put in some full blocks like this. And now we can go back to as a normal roof, what we'd normally do. So we've got to kind of like pretend this bit isn't here. So I'm going to do my usual thing. We might have to get rid of that and put a stair there. And then on here too, like so. And of course we'll put as dark oak on the end bits. And we should be able to just connect these two bits up now. And that's worked out quite nicely actually. I do like the way that looks. It's just a little bit of an extra roof. And it just makes things a little bit more interesting. But now all we have to do is connect the rest of this roof up. Alright, now that's done. All we've got to do is get us slabs. One there, one there. One, oops. One there, one there. One there, one there. One there, one there. There's spruce. And just bring them all so they meet each other. And there we go. Not the most interesting roof in the world. We've got this bit here though, so I kind of like this bit. On here we've got this little lower bit that sticks out, so I quite like that. We're going to have the tower here, so that's going to look good. And we talked about having a little roof here, so let's just bring a log up. And maybe I want to just do something like this. And then we're going to treat this like an end bit. So we're just going to bring the stairs there. Get the dark oak going. And I do like that. I think that's pretty cool. We could use this as a Like a little workshop area, maybe. Now the last thing to do for the basic structure is get a tower going. So let's just build this up a little taller. Now, I don't want to make it too tall, and it just kind of clears the roof, so I quite like that actually. And now what we're going to do is we're going to try and make this a bit fancy. I'll just grab myself some stone brick slabs, some stone brick stairs, and some regular old stone bricks. We're going to put one of these in each corner. And then we're going to put the stairs, I think. Actually, maybe we could put them in the middle, like this. And then... oh, I've got an invisible one. Invisible blocks. There we go. Put a block on each one of those. And then put a stair facing outwards from each of those. Now maybe we actually make these one block higher. And then we can do something like this. We'll leave a gap there. So we're just going to leave a gap in each of them. Now we're going to grab some cobblestone walls. Just try and just put a little bit of something in there. And I'm thinking we have like a little opening with like a little pointed roof on. I think that'd be cool, so let's try that. We're actually going to stick with the walls. Okay, I do like that. We're going to grab us dark oak, planks, stairs and slabs now. And try and get some sort of interesting roof going. I think we're going to put a stair there and a stair there. And then put a block in the middle. And same on this one. A stair there and a stair there with a block in the middle. And on this one. And on this one. And then on top of these blocks, we're going to put a stair facing inwards, like this. And on these ones, I think we're going to want a block. And then a block on each side of that block, like so. And then I think we're going to want to bring these up like this. Okay, that's not looking too bad. Then I think we're going to want to put a block in the middle of those and bring it up a block. Then we're going to go back a block, then either side, and bring this all the way around. And on top of this block, we're going to put a stair on each one of these. I think these corner ones are going to need to come up. And they're going to need a block in the middle of each of those. Then again in the centre block, we're just going to bring that up. Put a stair on top of each. Whoops. And then a dark oak planks we're going to go up to. Then we're going to grab a dark oak fence and go up to. Let's have a look. Alright, I quite like that. Okay, I do like that, but I think there's just something I want to try. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're gonna try it together. These two blocks here, I want to have a spruce, and these two, I want to have a spruce, and also these two. Yeah, I think I quite like that. Now it's time to bring this build to life a little bit. So we've got the structure in place, we're happy with how everything links up. Now we just need to add the details to make it look like a proper house rather than just a big blob of stone and wood. So the first thing we can do, we're going to start off with the bottom level here. Let's I'd like some tuff, and I'd also like some glass for the windows. I think we're going to go... I quite like the black stained glass panes. They are quite dark, but I like the way they look. And with this tuff as well, we're going to create like just a mini gradient. So, on some of the bottom blocks, I'm just going to put in some tuff. Maybe we have just a cheeky one up there. I don't like it. It's a bit samey, isn't it? So maybe we'll put another one in there like that. Maybe one up there. One down there. Okay, I quite like that. And we're just going to do something similar to this round each side. On the tower here, because it's quite tall, I think what I'm going to do is just bring the tuff up a little bit higher on the tower. Maybe we'll leave just the odd bit of cobble here and there. Something like that maybe. And then we're going to want to just kind of bring it down just a little bit. Yeah, something like that. Alright, so that's the tuff mixed in around all sides. And if we just go back a bit, I really... oh, that's a bit too far back. We'll go up a bit. I really like the way this stuff blends in. This is... yeah, it might not be to your taste, so of course, if you don't like it, then you don't have to do it if you don't want. I just think it just adds a bit of slight colour variation. And it gives you this bit of a gradient thing. But there's one or two other things we can do to make this more interesting, because it's still looking a bit flat. We've got a little bit of depth with a glass pane. But something I like to do is grab a spruce trapdoor, grab a spruce fence. I'm just gonna put like these little, I don't know what you call them, like a little archway just over the window there. I think it just adds a little bit of something. It's probably not the most realistic thing in the world, but that's okay. On windows like this, where you don't really have a bit above it, we could slab this like this, or we could even do something a bit like this, and then just add something like that. Oh, we've got roofs going this way, we've got roofs going this way. I do like this. There's something else we can do. It's like one of the oldest tricks in the book, this. You get some grass blocks. You go like that, you get some trapdoors. And then you get some of your favourite flowers. And just bob them in. A little flower box. Works every time. Now there's one or two other things we can do to the bottom floor. I'm just going to grab myself some dark oak fence gates and put these in the corners. Just kind of like little supports helping hold the next layer up. That works. Something else we could do is just have some like ivy growing up the wall maybe. Something like that. Maybe it needs something a bit down there. Maybe something like that. Yeah, I quite like that. And we can do that on one side. We can also grab ourselves some little stone buttons here. And can have them as like little imperfections in the stone. Something like that. It just adds a tiny little bit of depth when you're close up. I quite like little things like that. And since this is next to like a green block, maybe what we could try is a little bit of mossy cobblestone. Just pop that there. And you can do this wherever there's like cobblestone next to one of these kind of leaf blocks. It kind of makes sense, right? So we're gonna have to replace that button, but that's okay. Let's just do the... Whoops, that's a tough block. Puts the leaves back in. It just adds a little bit of something. I quite like it. Alright. I think that's enough detail for the bottom floor. It is easy to overdo it, so we're just going to leave it there for now, and we're going to go up to the top floor now. And this is what I mean with the calcite. I can just poke us windows in where we want them. And actually for the upstairs, we're not going to use glass, but we're going to use fence gates. Something like that. It just creates something a bit different. I don't know, I always seem to do this, and I quite enjoy the way it looks. Now what we're going to do is grab ourselves some trapdoors and some signs. We're going to put the trapdoor here, hold shift and space, 2 trapdoors on top of that, get rid of the bottom one, flip these up, sign on there, sign on there, whoops, not there, on there. What you have is a window shutter, and these are like the things that'll be on hinges, like holding it open. I think that's a cool little detail. I like just little things like that. Now we're going to take some white concrete powder, and we're just going to make most of this calcite concrete powder, just leaving just the odd one here and there. Yeah, something like that. Just little bits of bats here where the stucco's a little bit, just a little bit old and a bit cracked. It gives the building a bit of life, like it's aging slightly, and I really like just little things like little details like that. These are the things that can help just breathe a bit of life into the build. Alright, I think we've got it's mostly concrete powder now, with just a little bit of calcite here and there. And I really like that. I think that looks really good. Now remember this little, there's little fence gates. What we can do is just put them across the roof like this. Maybe one there. And these are like little supports, little beams coming out helping support the roof. It's only a tiny little detail, but I think it just adds something nice. So I think we're going to put a few more of these in. This is more of a fantasy thing, but you can skip this thing if you want. If you want to keep things more kind of realistic looking. But we can just get some chains. Just dab them about willy-nilly. And hang some lanterns off them like this. I quite like that. Alright, so we've got some lanterns going, we've got some shutters going. There's not a whole lot more we can really do to this this top layer. It already looks quite busy anyway, with the bits of calcite and the shutters, and we've got this nice triangle shape. So I think that's alright. There is one tiny little detail you can add if you really want to. We're just going to grab some buttons. Ooh, that's a bit too light. I wanted spruce. And you can just have these. Kind of like bolts in the end of the wood, right? It just adds a bit of something if you want to. If you think it's too much, you don't have to add them. It's your build. You can do whatever you want. Final touches. We have some ivy at the bottom, so we can just add little bits and bats of it dangling from the roof here and there. Maybe there's some kind of growing down here like this. Whoops. Just a little something like that. And what we can do, if we really want, is we can just break one of those and have it like that. I think it just helps with the shape a little bit. I think that's most of this done. I do want to just work on this tower a little bit. Maybe we can get some just some normal stone and some stone bricks. And I'd like to try and make like a transition from this cobblestone to the stone. I'm not sure if that's quite going to work. We could try some bits of andesite. You see, it's quite a noisy texture like the cobblestone, but it's got a very close colour to this this normal stone. So I think andesite could help us out here. We might get away with sneaking one in there. Maybe it gets a bit higher up here. And then we'll change the rest of this cobble out for just normal stone. I think we need just a touch more andesite, just here and there, just to help smooth that transition out a little bit. Maybe one there. Okay. Maybe one here and one here. Okay. Maybe we drag some down into the cobble a little bit, just an odd one here and there. Maybe something like that. Okay, I think that's working. And right up at the top here, just want to sneak in a couple of stone bricks. Maybe we'd get cheeky and add 2 there. Maybe there. Maybe 1 there. 1 there. Alright, I do quite like that. I think that's coming along quite nicely. We can add windows to this a bit later on, but I think that's going to work better as an interior thing, adding windows. But for now, I'd say that's our I'd say that's our little place looking fancy. We do need to add a door actually, so maybe we can just throw a door in right here. I like the spruce doors best, so we'll use a spruce door and do something a bit like this. And then a fence gate. Nice. Alright. I think that is starting to look very nice. There are still some bland bits in the roof here, so maybe we can try do something about those. Maybe we could add like just a little window here. Just a little one. Something like that, and it just helps. So what I'm gonna do is... Alright, I think that helps. That roof looks a lot better now. It's just such a small thing, but it adds so much. And I'm thinking, maybe I want one like on this side too. We might have to get rid of that. Well, that's okay. And I think that's our little medieval house done, at least for the exterior. If you want me to do a similar video to this for the interior, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll try my best, and hopefully we can get a nice interior going. But I think this looks really nice. This is kind of my approach to building, just taking it nice and easy, keeping it nice and chill. You don't have to rush it. You know, you don't have to be set as, you know, when you built it. You can take things down, rebuild things, you know, mess about with a block palette if you want to try some different colours, some different textures. Go for it. But this is just my kind of this is how I approach building, and how I go from just the basic structure and just add bits and bats and change things here and there, just to try and bring the build to life a little bit. And I think what we've got here is really nice. Let me know what you think. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this video helped. And like I say, if you want me to do an interior video for this, let me know in the comments down below. And if you have any other sort of medieval kind of building styles that you think we could build together, then let me know those in the comments too down below. But yeah, thanks again for watching, guys. You know which buttons to click, that'd be much appreciated. And I'll see you all in the next video.